The Tupac Vegas incident. How you feel about that? Tupac going to Vegas, him getting shot, the whole hospital situation. Just give me your point of view of that whole incident.
That was a fucked up event. It's like when it happened, you're like, okay, here's more of the Tupac story, because his story was like that, and you felt that nigga was bulletproof, so you knew he was gonna come out of it like, yeah, I did. But the incidents leading up to that whole thing, it's kind of like what I told you when you see the signs on the wall. Like, we know he wasn't a gang member, but he was influenced by being the first to bomb. You know what I'm saying? When somebody came up to him and said, "We got an issue," which they never should have did. Pac was $1 million nigga. Suge should have never let him nowhere near that shit. But the mentality was, if your homie's fighting, you fighting. Everybody knows that. But he was the first to lead the charge, and that's the kind of the differences that I've seen. Something in him was, he was trying to prove something. And a nigga like that don't need to prove nothing. You know what I'm saying? And he led the charge. He's stomping niggas. And that was different for me. Because, I mean, I've seen him fight. I've seen him get into some shit, and we all was doing shit we was ashamed of. You know, just doing crazy shit when you're young. And he had a sense of mercy. And in that situation, he was never the leader of violence, but that's where he was at. And I think that was different. That struck me odd that he was leading that. That shows that he was trying to show somebody he's with this. He's with you. Not he's in the gang, but he's with you. You know, not he's not a blood, but if me and you go somewhere, we go to Jamaica, we all kicking it. We there for days, we together. You know what I'm saying? And it's a point where that gets tested, and you got to do what you are. And that's what I think happened there, you know. But I think it looked like you saw the footage. It looked like he's leading the pack. Like, you know, me, I'm a square. I'm gonna make sure everybody right. That's my role. You know, then I'm gonna try to stop us from fighting. But then if it happens, that's what everybody's in it. But he was like, let's get it. You know, that was new for me.
How did you feel, and what was your reaction when you heard the news that Tupac got shot in Vegas?
I was coming home from a late night, crazy night. Sun was coming up, and I think it come on the radio. And first thing I thought, Pac got shot. Like I said, the first thing you think is, damn, he got shot. Oh, he's not dead? He's gonna be all right. And then the days went, and I was calling my homegirl who took over doing some of my responsibilities after I left. So I could talk to Pac, you know, through her and stuff. And so I called her immediately and asked, you know, what was up? Should I fly to Vegas? She was like, no, he's gonna be all right. I was like, cool. So I'm telling everybody he's gonna be all right. And then the day he died, I called her. She called me something. She said, he opened his eyes. He's all right. And I told everybody. And I walked in the house. The TV said he's dead. What? Pac is dead? That can't happen. You know, he a motherfucking superhero. You know what I'm saying? He was like, that's what he meant to everybody, you know? And I've had homies die, get shot, motorcycle crashes, and it hurts, man. But something about losing somebody who's connected to everybody, you lose. It's like, man, there's something there, you know what I mean? It was like, it was not just one of my best friends. It was one of our best humans. And I went in my room and I put his music on loop, man. They say I came out of there like 2 or 3 days later. It killed me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've coped with so much shit, man. But him dying changed my life because I listened to Tupac music for the first time. How many years has it been? It's been a lot of years. I listened to Tupac music for the first time a couple years ago. Shit would come on. I would tell people to change it, or I'd leave the room. I wouldn't try to make a big scene out of it, but I didn't want to go there. You know what I'm saying? Plus, there was all that stuff with the estate, and things were just. Tupac, after he died, was not Tupac. Although that Death Row album I thought was dope, but yeah, kind of like a piece of me was broken forever after he died, and you know, it's like part of him. There was some of me that was in him, like, you know what I'm saying? There's some things I was very proud of, you know, maybe some things I ain't so proud of now, but I know that I was an influence on him, and I know because he was a major influence on me, and I was proud of him. And that's not just because I know a lot of celebrities, I know a lot of people who came up, but I was connected with that dude, and yeah. When he broke, the world kind of broke because he meant a lot, man. He was the revolutionary. He was going to do this label thing for the kids. He was the truth. Like I told you, when I would get pulled over by the police, I used to be the one person yelling, "Y'all can't do this, y'all can't do that." When he came, he was so eloquent, and he was breaking things. He was fixing things that you didn't know were broken, and when he died, the fixer was gone. He didn't fulfill his agreement with the earth. Everybody looks at his music now and say, "Oh man, he was bad." He had so much more to do. Y'all didn't get to see the real Tupac. You saw a piece of a Tupac that he wanted you to see. It was, he put his shit out there because he was an artist. He was bad as fuck. You're like, this nigga is dope. But he's dope in anything he did.
Orlando Anderson. How do you feel about people that say Orlando Anderson was the one that shot Tupac in Vegas?
Say at this point, that's their opinion. It makes sense. But I think overall, we talk about the whole thing. Like, certain people probably think that there was a conspiracy to kill Pac, you know, which it could have been. That's why it's so mysterious, because it can go down a whole bunch of ways. Was Orlando put there? Did somebody, whoever ran up and told Tupac he got the chain? You know, how the whole thing went about. Sometimes not what happened, is what made it happen. So you can look at it conspiracies way, or you can also look at it like, how would you feel if a bunch of niggas beat you down? You ain't finna let that go, right? You gonna do something. Well, some people are gonna not take an ass whooping. Some people don't take ass whoopings. And you got people who, Orlando, you know, if he did it or whatever, I know he died the next week or whatever. So I don't have to avenge that on him, but he was a real nigga out in those streets. And, you know, you get beat down in the MGM. So I got both sides. There's the conspiracy that this was set up, and then there's like, well, shit happens if you make it that way. It's like me, I'm not gonna do all that because that's big. I'm not beating nobody down, because then you got it coming back. But I'm gonna stop myself from getting beat down. I'm gonna protect myself, and I think it's one of those things, man, that happened, and I think they got put in that position. So if you wear a chain that becomes a trophy, you got trophy robbers, right? And your reaction to the trophy robbers is gonna be what it is. So that's a cat and mouse game that somebody else created, and I don't feel any certain way. I don't feel any certain way about Orlando. But if he shot him, I ain't gonna say I appreciate it, but I understand. And you know, it's like anything else. I might understand why somebody did something, but I'm after that nigga. Not me, but You know, I don't like Orlando if he did it. You know, or whoever did it.